Good evening, folks. Welcome aboard. This evening's episode 88, the 2 8s, and we're heading in the direction of 100. So we're going to have to celebrate that one, Kathleen. God willing, if we get there, it'll be 12 episodes time, is it? 3 months time. That sounds like the end of January or something. Santa will come and gone. Okay, so a few days ago was the 89th anniversary of the birth of Tommy Mayhem. And Tommy was a big inspiration to me, along with Luke Kelly and the long neck 5-string banjo in particular. And I fell in love with the sound of his long neck Vega banjo for sure. And I've got one in my possession at last about 20-something years ago. And I just love playing it. I love the sound of the Vega tubaphone. And this one was made by Deering in 1999, for those of you banjo connoisseurs out there. And Tommy wrote so many songs, and I'm going to pay tribute to his inspiration and his memory tonight by singing a few of his self-penned songs. The next one is a song that was a hit actually for more than himself in Ireland, and for Dermot O'Brien, the Boys Achilles, all about the fishing off the coast of our country. And Kelleher is a fishing port off the coast of Donegal, the most northwesterly county in our country. And as you all know, folks, fishing out at sea can be a pretty rough and tough job at times, and but you have to be, I suppose, it has to be in your blood. And Kelleher would probably tell us more about it than I know. Anyway, this one's called the Boys Achilles. There were wild and rocky hills on the coast of Donegal, and their fishermen are hardy, brave and free, and the big Atlantic swell is a thing they know right well, as they fight to take a living from the sea. With the pleasant rolling sea and the herring running free, and the fleet all riding gently through the fold. When the boats are loaded down, they'll be singing in the town, when the boys of Kelleher come rolling home. Well, you've done your rubber boots, and you've got your wide stems on, and you check your gear to see that it's okay, and your jumper keeps you warm, for it's cold before the dawn, and you're ready to begin another day. With the pleasant rolling sea and the herring running free, and the fleet all riding gently through the fold. When the boats are loaded down, they'll be singing in the town, when the boys of Kelleher come rolling home. Well, you've headed out to sea, and the wind is blowing free, and you cast your nets as rain begins to fall, and the sun comes riding high, and the clouds will soon go by, and today you'll maybe take a bumper haul. With the pleasant rolling sea and the herring running free, and the fleet all riding gently through the fold. When the boats are loaded down, they'll be singing in the town, when the boys of Kelleher come rolling home. When the weather's blowing rough and the work is very tough, and the ropes will raise the welts upon your hands, but you'll never leave the sea, for whoever you may be, when it's in your blood it's hard to live on land. With the pleasant rolling sea and the herring running free, and the fleet all riding gently through the fold. When the boats are loaded down, they'll be singing in the town, when the boys of Kelleher come rolling home. Oh, there's purple on the hills, and there's green down by the shore, and the sun has filled its gold upon the sea, and there's silver down below where the herring fishes go. When we catch them, they'll be gold for you and me. With the pleasant rolling sea and the herring running free, and the fleet all riding gently through the him. And of course, his son Rory's keeping the tradition going on. Good man Rory. And I remember Tommy, this particular poster here was when he came to Ireland back in 2004, along with his son Rory, accompanying him on guitar and vocals and pedal bass. And it's the last year I saw Tommy in Ireland, I think, performing in a concert. I met him maybe the following year or two up in the, well, performing, I suppose, a tour, I suppose. Met him at the Tommy Mayhem International Festival of Song, and a few times as well. And got to see him in 2006 in Cape Cod. And that was the last time I saw him alive. And what a legacy he's left behind for us all to sing these lovely songs. In the meantime, I sing a song that was brought to our ears by Luke Kelly and our own Jimmy Crowley, our own Cork troubadour, folk troubadour, recorded a lovely version as well. And then eventually, it's amazing how all the music is linked. Eventually the chorus and the chieftains of the version called I Know My Love. And of course Paddy Maloney just passed away a few weeks ago. And I send this one out to Ty O'Shea and all his family. You know, Ty likes Cork songs, and rightly so. And here's one for you, O'Shea clan up there, and hope you'll enjoy it. I know me love by his way of walking, and I know me love by his way of talking, and I know me love in a jacket blue. And if my love leaves me, what will I do? And still she cried, I love him the best, and the troubled mind sure can know no rest. And still she cried, funny boys are few, and if my love leaves me, what will I do? There is a dance hall in Mardyke, and 'tis there me love he goes every night, and he'll sit a queer one down on his knee. And don't you know how that bothers me? And still she cried, I love him the best, and the troubled mind sure can know no rest. And still she cried, funny boys are few, and if my love leaves me, what will I do? If my love knew that I can wash and wring, and if my love knew I could weave and spin, I would weave a cloth of the finest kind. But the want of money leaves me behind. And still she cried, I love him the best, and the troubled mind sure can know no rest. Still she cried, funny boys are few, and if my love leaves me, what will I do? I know me love is an ardent rover, and I know me love will roam the whole world over. And in dear old Ireland he no longer tarry, and an English girl he is sure to marry. And still she cried, I love him the best, and the troubled mind sure can know no rest. Still she cried, funny boys are few, and if my love leaves me, what will I do? Still she cried, I love him the best, and the troubled mind sure can know no rest. And still she cried, funny boys are few, and if my love leaves me, what will I do? Okay, well, let's stick with another Tommy Mayhem song this time. Last time I sang this song, Kathleen, was probably where the song was written, or close by, in 2019. And Tommy, of course, travelled all over the world with the Clancy Brothers and on his solo career, and wrote songs about different places, and I'm going to sing a few about places. And he wrote love songs. He wrote, as we heard earlier, sea songs. He wrote anti-war songs. His repertoire of written songs were endless, really. This one's called Vancouver, and we miss our friends over there in Vancouver and Vancouver Island, and we can't wait to get back to see you all again. Nice singing chorus, Vancouver, Vancouver, when I come back I never more will roam. And you'll get it as we go. I'll sing the chorus a few times for you to get it. Vancouver, Vancouver, when I get back I never more will roam. Vancouver, 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 I'm coming home. Simple as that. Vancouver, Vancouver, when I get back I never more will roam. Vancouver, 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 I'm coming home. Oh, my feet are weary wandering on the road that leads to nowhere, and my mind keeps turning backwards evermore, to where misty covered mountains raise their heads into the heavens and gaze upon the blue Pacific shore. Vancouver, Vancouver, when I get back I never more will roam. Vancouver, 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 I'm coming home. Now there was a pretty girl I knew before I left Vancouver, and we walked hand in hand in English Bay. And she told me that she loved me when the moon was on the water, and I promised I'd return to her someday. To where? To Vancouver, Vancouver, when I get back I never more will roam. Vancouver, 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 I'm coming home. Now I want to walk your hilly streets and on your sandy beaches, and I want to talk to people who are kind. If this lonesome train keeps rolling, then I'll see you in the morning, and maybe then I'll get some peace of mind. Vancouver, Vancouver, when I get back I never more will roam. Vancouver, 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 I'm coming home. Let's go again. Vancouver, Vancouver, when I get back I never more will roam. Vancouver, 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 I'm coming home. Vancouver, I'm coming home. It's that knack of writing songs that were infectious, especially the choruses, hadn't he, Kathleen?
Oh yeah.
You couldn't but sing when you were in his company, and if you'd feel more embarrassed not singing than singing. As we say here, he'd shame you into singing, and you'd never regret from the first word you'd sing to the end of the concert, and you would just fly along. And no, he was a master at his trade for sure. And here's the next song I'm going to do was written by Tommy as well, and there's a documentary where he lets us know that this song was written for his wife Mary, and he said he'd use Mary in songs so much he decided he'd change and this one to Gentle Annie. But Tommy was a very honest and genuine man, so there's no reason not to believe this. Called Fair and Lovely Annie, Gentle Annie. Fair and lovely Annie, your gentle ways have won me, You bring peace and joy and laughter everywhere. Where you go, the sunshine follows. You're a breath of spring and winter, and my heart and soul are always in your care. Gentle Annie, gentle Annie, and my heart and soul are always in your care. When you touch me with your fingers, my cares and worries vanish, like the morning dew before the rising sun. When the moon has left the heavens and the seven seas are empty, I will still have gentle Annie on my mind. Gentle Annie, gentle Annie, I will still have gentle Annie on my mind. You're my flower among the flowers, you're the bird song in the morning, you're the laughter of the children at their play. You're my hope and joy and wisdom, you're my reason just for living. You're my treasure, you're my very night and day. Gentle Annie, gentle Annie, you're my treasure, you're my very night and day. When the mountains all come tumbling and the earth has stopped its turning, when the winds don't blow and the stars refuse to shine, when the moon has left the heavens and the seven seas are empty, I will still have gentle Annie on my mind. Gentle Annie, gentle Annie, I will still have gentle Annie on my mind. Gentle Annie, gentle Annie, I will still have gentle Annie on my mind. Beautiful love song, I think, anyway, and hope you enjoyed it, from the pen of Tommy Mayhem. It's in the next one out to Mary Parks, and she would be familiar with the next place, and we were lucky to visit it with Tommy Mayhem's nephew Jerry, and a big hello to Mary and Jerry up there, and Jerry Noose, and all the Mayhems, and it's got a beautiful place that Tommy really loved called Carlingford Lock, Carlingford Bay, Carlingford Village. And a beautiful, it's about a fisherman again heading away, and song tells the story, as you say, Kathleen, sometimes. Oh, yeah. Don't give the game away. Now when I was young and then my pride, and could wander wild and free. There was always longing in my mind to follow the call of the sea. So I sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to Greenore, and I'll think of you, oh Payham's night, until I return once more, until I return once more. On all of the stormy seven seas I have sailed before the mast, but on every voyage that ever I made, I swore it would be my last. So I sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to Greenore, and I'll think of you, oh Payham's night, until I return once more, until I return once more. Now I had a girl called Mary Boyle, and she lived in Greenore, and the foremost thought that was in her mind was to see me safe on shore. So I sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to Greenore, and I'll think of you, oh Payham's night, until I return once more, until I return once more. Now the landsman's life is all his own. He can go or he can stay, but when the sea gets in your blood, when she calls, you must obey. So I sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to Greenore, and I'll think of you, oh Payham's night, until I return once more, until I return once more. Yes, I'll sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to Greenore, and I'll think of you, oh Payham's night, until I return once more, until I return once more. Do you remember our visit to Carlingford?
Oh, yes, I sure do.
Beautiful place. And, I know Jerry and his brother Tom plays several gigs there as well. And there's a beautiful arts centre there, to my knowledge. Love to get up there at some stage and entertain folks. And the next one I'm going to send out to Martina and Anthony, our friends who were in Dublin during the week, and they got to see the next man up close and in person. Or the next man, the man that wrote the next song, sorry. From Galway to Graceland to be with the King, Elvis himself. And this is a sad song about a lady who fell in love with Elvis. He was dead at this stage, but she left her husband of 20 years, caught a plane to the United States and made her way to Memphis, to Graceland, to be with the King. And I love the song. It took me a while to get a version together that I was reasonably happy with. And we saw him last Sunday at the live stream from Sean Kane, and he brought it to our ears as well in Ireland, Kathleen, from Galway to Graceland, to be with the King.
That's right.
And I introduced a repeat of the last line of the chorus, and I actually came across another guy doing it online. I just felt that there was no chorus, just to make some kind of a chorus out of it. From Galway to Graceland to Be With the King. That's the one you got to sing a few times. Twice. She dressed in the dark, and she whispered amen. She was pretty and pink, like a young girl again. 20 years married, but she never thought twice. She sneaked out the door and walked into the night. Silver wings carried her over the sea. On the west coast of Ireland to West Tennessee, to be with her sweetheart. She'd left everything. From Galway to Graceland to be with the King. From Galway to Graceland to be with the King. She was humming Suspicion. It's the song she liked best. She had Elvis' I love you tattooed on her breast. And when they landed in Memphis, her heart beat so fast. She had dreamed for so long, now she'd see him at last. She was down by his graveside day after day. Come closing time, they would pull her away to be with her sweetheart. She'd left everything. From Galway to Graceland to be with the King. From Galway to Graceland to be with the King. They came in their thousands from the whole human race to pay their respects at his last resting place. Ah, but blindly she left there, and she told him her dreams, and she thought that he answered her, that's how it seemed. They dragged her away, it was handcuffs this time. She said, my good man, are you out of your mind? Don't you know that we're married? See, I'm wearing his ring. From Galway to Graceland to be with the King. From Galway to Graceland to be with the King. I've come from Galway to Graceland to be with the King. I hope they were all singing along, Kathleen, right?
Oh, I'm sure they were.
If they weren't, they have to sing the next one. And Tom Paxton was another Tom that I had really admired, still do. Still writing songs at age 84 or something like that.
That's good.
And there's just no end to his ability and his poetry and his lyrics. And I just love this song "Never Wear a Stain with Me," the last thing on my mind. And here goes. And let's hear you sing from a distance, not the song from a distance. Sing the last thing on my mind from a distance. It's a lesson too late for the learning, made of sand, made of sand. In the wink of an eye, my soul is turning in your hands, in your hands. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be no trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. You had reasons aplenty for going. This I know, this I know. And the weeds have been steadily growing. Please don't go, please don't go. Together. Are you going away with no word of farewell? And will there be no trace left behind? Well, I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. As I lie in my bed in the morning, without you, without you. Every song in my heart dies a mourning, without you, without you. Are you going away with no word of farewell? And will there be no trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. Let's go again. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. I'm going to do a song I wrote myself, and this is probably one of the two that I like best. Kathleen, I think you like it as well.
Yes,
and,
I do.
It's a song of immigration, and the next two songs after this concern immigration as well. And this is about a guy left the Great Blasket Island off the coast of Kerry, the Dingle Peninsula, and made his way to Dublin initially. He was a Gaelic Irish speaker from the island, and he learned to speak in English in Dublin. Met his sweetheart, and they immigrated to America in search of a better life, and they ended up in the Springfield area of Massachusetts, and his name is Michael Carney. I call the song The Last Island Man. Got a bit of flack for that occasionally, but it's a poetic license, Kathleen.
Yes.
And his book was called that as well. So he wasn't the last man to live on the island. But if you look on YouTube, you'll find a little excerpt from a documentary that inspired me to write the song, and it's also called The Last Island Man, about 5 minutes long. Well worth looking at. Brings a tear to my eye every time. Probably yours as well,
Sure, I love it.
The Last Island Man, about Michael Carney. He was born in 1920, a mile out from the shore, on the great Blasket Island. He was Irish to the core, fluent in his native tongue, but no future for him there. His father gave him 5 shillings when he was 16 fair. He's the last island man, and his heart it lives there yet. Thoughts that linger in his mind, a place he never will forget. He left his native island for Dublin city bound, where he met his Maureen at a dance, his future wife he'd found. He learned to speak in English there, for 11 years did stay. When he and Maureen sailed away to far America, he's the last island's man, and his heart it lives there yet. Thoughts that linger in his mind, a place he never will forget. They were married 2 years later, and raised 4 children well, from working hard in different jobs in Springfield chose to dwell. Now over 90 years have passed, and his heart now it still lies on the island that he wants to see once more before he dies. He's the last island man, and his heart it lives there yet. Thoughts that linger in his mind, a place he never will forget. He makes that journey home once more at the age of 92, to recall all those memories and the people that he knew. His name is Michael Carney, and from where his life began, he left us his great story. He's the last island man. He's the last island man, and his heart it lives there yet. Thoughts that linger in his mind, a place he never will forget. He's a lost island man, and his heart that lives there yet. Thoughts that linger in his mind, a place he never will forget. And he made the journey back, and his family know about the song in Massachusetts, and they gave it their blessing to use. I wanted to make sure that I could use his actual name in case I had to use a pseudonym if they weren't in agreement, but so they were. That's a story about a man that got on very well, and there's a portion of the Blasket experience, the visitor centre on the mainland. There's a corner of that place dedicated to his memory and all his photographs and stuff. Very good, Kathleen, we got to see it.
We did.
Okay, here's an immigration song with a different theme, and it's another typical situation. Ireland seems, as I said last week, it seems to be where immigration was invented, and this is about a guy who heads off to London from County Clare. And Ralph Mattel, the great English London-based songwriter, singer, more famously known for writing The Streets of London, wrote this song, and people like Nancy Griffith has recorded it, and it's a long, long way from Clare to here. Send this one out to Joseph Kelleher, my namesake out there in the United States. And this guy is, he meets Ralph Mattel on a building site, and Ralph asks him, he said, "What do you think of it over here?" The young boy was only about 15, and he said, "It's a long, long way from Clare to here." And that line stuck in Ralph's mind, and he wrote this beautiful song about this guy missing his native County Clare, a beautiful part of Ireland that I love as well. Here goes for you, especially Joseph. Oh, there's four who share the room, and we work hard for the crack. We're getting up late on Sunday, we never get to Mass. It's a long, long way from Clare to here. It's a long, long way from Clare to here. It's a long, long way, and it gets further day by day. It's a long, long way from there to here. Friday night it comes around, I'm always into fighting. Me ma would like a letter home, but I'm too tired for writing. It's a long, long way from there to here. It's a long, long way from there to here. Oh, it's a long, long way, and it gets further day by day. It's a long, long way from there to here. The only time I feel alright is when I'm into drinking, for it eases off the pain a bit and it levels out my thinking. It's a long, long way from there to here. It's a long, long way from there to here. Oh, it's a long, long way, and it gets further day by day. It's a long, long way from there to here. Almost breaks my heart when I think of Josephine. I promised I'd be coming home, my pockets full of greed. It's a long, long way from there to here. It's a long, long way from there to here. Oh, it's a long, long way, and it gets further day by day. It's a long, long way from there to here. I dream I hear a piper play, but maybe it's an ocean. I dreamt I saw white horses dance upon that other ocean. It's a long, long way from there to here. It's a long, long way from there to here. Oh, it's a long, long way, and it gets further day by day. It's a long, long way from there to here. It's a long, long way, and it gets further day by day. It's a long, long way from there to here. It's a long, long way from there to here. It's such a long, long way from there to here. For you, Joseph, I hope you enjoy that. And do one more from an immigration theme, and this is called Isle of Hope, Isle of Tears, written by Brendan Graham. And this one again was brought our ears by Sean Kane, and I think his sister Dolores as well. And I was sending greetings to our ladies who are up in Westport, and hello to you, Kathleen, and Nora. Hope you're having a good time up there, and they'll check in later in the week to rewatch this, they said. So hope you're having a fantastic time up there. And a beautiful, one of our most beautiful towns is Westport, County Mayo. And this song was written about Annie Moore. She was the first lady to cross the threshold in Ellis Island in New York Bay. And beautifully written song. And we'll send this one out to my daughter Emma. Our daughter Emma.
Yes, she's mine too.
Just checking your attentions.
I'm listening.
And so her birthday, her 30th birthday is next Tuesday. And what age does that make me, Kathleen? 50, is it?
Maybe 51.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Emma. Happy birthday to you. By the time episode 89 comes around, we'll have celebrated her 30th birthday next Friday.
That's true.
And have a great one, Emma. During the week, we'll be celebrating many times, of course, and enjoy the last hours of your 20s. Embrace them like there's no tomorrow. Make the best of them. Okay, so this is especially for Emma. On the first day of January 1892, they opened Ellis Island and they let the people through. The first to cross the threshold to the land of hope and dreams was Annie Moore from Ireland, who was only 15 years. Isle of hope, Isle of tears, Isle of freedom, Isle of fears, but it's not the isle you left behind. But Isle of hunger, Isle of pain, Isle you'll never see again. But the Isle of home is always on your mind. In a little bag she carried all her past and history, Our dreams for the future in the land of liberty. Courage is your passport when your old world disappears. But there's no future in the past when you're only 15 years. I love hope, I love tears, I love freedom, I love fears. But it's not the isle you left behind. But I love hunger, I love pain, I'll you never see again. But the Isle of Home is always on your mind. When they closed down Ellis Island in 1943, 17 million people had come there for sanctuary. And in springtime when I came here and I stepped onto its pier, I thought of how it must have been when you're only 15 years. I love hope, I love tears, I love freedom, I love fears. But it's not the isle you left behind. I love hunger, I love pain, I'll you never see again. But the Isle of Home is always on your mind. I love hope, I love tears, I love freedom, I love fears. But it's not the Isle you left behind. But I love hunger, I love pain, I'll you never see again. But the Isle of Home is always on your mind. But the Isle of Home is always on your mind. Thank you, folks.
Can I say thank you?
Emma, is it?
Yeah.
No problem, Emma. You often sang the song yourself. She gone for a walk, is she?
I think so, yeah.
You can
Three of them are heading off.
napped her and brought her in for a song, but maybe some other night. We won't put pressure on her. Okay. Next one, Kathleen. What do you think about the next song?
Oh, love it. Want to go back. Miss it big time.
Kingston Trio were massive folk in the 60s in America, and this was one of their biggest hits, if not their biggest. I was too young to remember. And Hang Down Your Head, Tom Dooley was a murder ballad that was originated in where we go to in North Carolina, around the Happy Valley area, and performed there at the Great Happy Valley Fiddlers Convention. And Laura Foster, the victim, is buried on the grounds of the farm where the festival takes place. And there's a road not too far away called Tom Doola. He was known as Tom Doola, and the Kingston Trio renamed the song Tom Dooley. And it's a legend and a true story to some extent, but again, there's always doubts about what happened precisely. But in any case, hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. I met her on the mountain. There I took her life. Met her on the mountain. Stabbed her with my knife. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. This time tomorrow, reckon where I'll be. Down in some lonesome valley, hanging from a white oak tree. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. This time tomorrow, reckon where I'll be. If it hadn't been for Grayson, I'd be in Tennessee. Just hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Oh boy, you're bound to die. This time tomorrow, reckon where I'll be. Down in some lonesome valley, hanging from a white oak tree. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. 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 Okay, go for another sea song this time, and Go to Sea No More. This is about a guy who kind of does it wrong, I suppose. Ever learns his lesson? When first I landed in Liverpool, I went upon the spree. Me money at last, I spent it fast, got drunk as drunk could be. And when that me money was all spent, 'twas then I wanted more. But a man must be blind to make up his mind to go to sea once more. Together. Once more, boys, once more. Go to sea once more. But a man must be blind to make up his mind to go to sea once more. I spent the night with Angeline, too drunk to roll in bed. Me watch wasn't due and me money too. In the morning with them she fled. And as I walked streets about, the whores they all did roar. There goes Jack Sprat, the poor sailor lad, he must go to sea once more. Once more, boys, once more, go to sea once more. There goes Jack Sprat, the poor sailor lad, he must go to sea once more. And as I walked the streets about, I met with the Rapper Brown. I asked him for to take me on. He looked at me with a frown. He says last time he was paid up, with me you could no score. But I'll give you a chance, and I'll take your advance, and I'll send you to sea once more. Once more, boys, once more, send you to sea once more. But I'll give you a chance, and I'll take your advance, and I'll send you to sea once more. But he shipped me on board of a whaling ship, bound for the Arctic Sea, where the cold winds blow and the frost and snow, and Jamaica rum would freeze. But worse to bear, I had no weather gear, for I'd spent all me money on shore. 'Twas then that I wished that I was dead and could go to sea no more. No more, boys, no more, go to sea no more. It was then that I wished that I was dead and could go to sea no more. So come all ye bold seafaring men, and listen to my song. When you come off those long trips, I'll have you not go wrong. Take my advice, drink no strong drink, no go sleeping with them whores. Get married instead and spend all night in bed, and go to sea no more. Let's go. No more, boys, no more, go to sea no more. Get married instead and spend all night in bed, and go to sea no more. No more, boys, no more, go to sea no more. Get married instead and spend all night in bed, and go to sea no more. How's everyone, Kathleen?
Oh,
Everyone
it
enjoying
seems to be
themselves?
good. They seem to be.
Good, good. Well, we're going to play, the next three songs are from the pen of Tommy Mayhem again. And the next one, I know Angela over there in Birmingham loves this one, Angela Russell, as do I. And it's a song called The Rambles of Spring, and even though it's about a particular season of the year, I've heard Tommy singing it all year round, and I sing it all year round, and everyone else that knows the song probably sings it all year round. There's a piercing wintry breeze blowing through the budding trees, and I buttoned up me coat to keep me warm. For the days are on the mend, and I'm on the road again, with me fiddle snuggled close beneath my arm. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I've rosin in me pocket for me bow, and me fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. I'm as happy as as a king when I catch a breath of spring, and the grass is turning green as winter ends, and the geese are on the wing, and the thrushes start to sing, and I've headed down the road to see my friends. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I have rosin in me pocket for me gold, and me fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. I have friends in every town as I ramble up and down, making music at the markets and the fairs, through the donkeys and the creels and the farmers making deals, and the yellow-headed tinkers selling wares. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I have rosin in me pocket for me gold, and me fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. Here's a health to one and all, to the big and to the small, to the rich and poor alike, and foe and friends. And when we return again, may our folk return to friends, and may peace and joy be with you until then. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I have rosin in me pocket for me gold, and me fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I have rosin in me pocket for me gold, and me fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. So I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. Angela, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you. Okay, what am I going to do next? Okay, the Four Green Fields. I'm going to try this one, and this is a very important song in Tommy's career, and one that was so cleverly written. Apparently he was travelling between the border and between the north and the south, and he saw an old lady droving cattle in between the two checkpoints at each side of the border. It's a bit like our story, Kathleen, going to Canada. We were kind of in no man's land, halfway between. It's a long story, I'll tell you some other time, it'll take too long to tell you. Tommy just saw this old lady droving cows, and in between the both border checkpoints, and suddenly dawned on him that Ireland was, well, it didn't dawn on him that Ireland is often known as an old lady, an old wise lady, or a young beautiful woman. But he used that concept, and 4 provinces of Ireland, Munster, that's where we live, I'll mention that one first, Kathleen, Leinster, Connacht and Ulster, and there's 8 counties in Ulster, but we legally are supposed to be only owning 2 of them at the moment, for the last 100 years, would you believe? But 6 counties are still, out of our 32 counties, are still under British rule, and but this song is about the old lady as being Ireland. She's being depicted as Ireland, and her 4 green fields are her 4 provinces. And as I mentioned before, this song is so strong when you use the word fourth in the last line. Her fourth green field will bloom once again. What did I have? Said a fine old woman. What did I have? This proud old woman did say I had 4 green fields. jewel. Then strangers' hands, they tried to take them from me. I had fine, strong sons. They fought to save my jewels. They fought and died, and that was my grief, said she. Long time ago, said a fine old woman. Long time ago, this proud old woman did say there was war and death, plundering and pillage my children, starved by mountain, valley and sea, and their wailing cries, they shook the very heavens. My four green fields ran red with their blood, said she. What have I now, said the fine old woman. What have I now? This proud old woman did say, I have four green fields. One of them's in bondage, in strangers' hands, who tried to take it from me. But my sons are sons, as brave as were their fathers, and my fourth green field will bloom once again, said she. Thank you, folks. Tommy was once asked, the song, he said it was a cry for justice and peace, and I wouldn't second guess that for a second, and that's what he was. It's not it's trying to cite war or aggression, and What a powerful song, and I hope I did reasonable justice. And next song is another song, a very powerful song, and apparently I remember Tommy telling us that his good friend Tommy Sands, who happens to be Mary Park's brother, told him that when he was in Germany around the time of the Berlin Wall coming down, that the people joined hands and they sang the next song that Tommy wrote. And Tommy was a dry wit on stage, and he always passed the joke. And he said when Tommy Sands told him about the story, he said, well, that's a song I'm going to have to go back and learn myself. And it sounds familiar, Kathleen. Learning your own songs, and what a powerful song. And I'm going to do a rendition of it. Hopefully I can do a reasonable justice as well, but bear in mind that this song was written before the Troubles, the ceasefire in the north. And again, a bit like Grow Four Green Fields, as I often say, 800 years of history and occupation, all condensed into 3 verses. It must be one of the most powerful songs about our country, if not the most. The winds are singing freedom, they sing it everywhere. They sing it on the mountainside and in the city square. They sing of a new day dawning, when our people will be free. Come and join song of freedom, let it ring from sea to sea. In the battered streets of Belfast, can't you hear the people cry for justice long denied, and their crying fills the sky. But the winds of change are singing, bringing hope from dark despair. There's a day of justice coming soon, I can hear it in the air. And the winds are singing freedom, they sing it everywhere. They sing it on the mountainside and in the city square. They sing of a new day dawning, when our people will be free. Come and join their song of freedom, let it ring from sea to sea. Too long our people have suffered in their misery and their tears, and foreign rulers use their land for about 800 years. It's a long road, has no turning, but I know that soon we'll see that day of justice dawning, when our people will be free. And the winds are singing freedom, they sing it everywhere. They sing it on the mountainside and in the city square. They sing of a new day dawning, when our people will be free. Come and join their song of freedom, let it ring from sea to sea. There's a time laid out for laughing, there's a time laid out to weep. can reap the fruits of peace. And the winds are singing freedom, they sing it everywhere. They sing it on the mountainside and in the city square. They sing of a new day dawning, that our people will be free. Come and join their song of freedom, let it ring from sea to sea. Come and join their song of freedom, let it ring from sea to sea. What a song of hope. Tommy, thank you very much. Here's the Bard of Armagh, the legendary Bard of Armagh, and a beautiful photograph of Tommy. And make sure I show it up off properly, Kathleen, yeah?
Yeah, you can see it.
Tommy was the man, I'll tell you, and a really genuine and lovely man as well. And myself and my friend Dan travelled over to his funeral in Dover, New Hampshire, and we owed him that. So here's to the memory of Tommy Mayhem. Shlanta. Okay, for all our friends over there in the United States, and particularly to Morris Shipman, a good friend in North Carolina, and you know what song is coming next, I think. And I knew there was something wrong with the go, Kevin. Better tune it. Bear with me, folks. There's a man from Cork that's living in Dublin looking in, Kathleen. His first name
Oh,
is Tom.
he sure is. He's on board.
Tom, this one's for you as well. He's our adopted North Carolinian. And this one we'll send out to Morris Shipman, as I said, and all our friends over there in the United States and North Carolina. It's Caroline in the fall. All the places I have been to, all the things that I have seen, since I left my home to wander when I was just 15. Though the traveling was easy, still sometimes the road got rough, and by the time that I turned 35, I thought I'd seen enough. But for me to settle down a while was not what God had planned. So one more time I left my home with my suitcase in my hand. Though the journey took me far and wide across the deep blue sea, and now I know since I've been there where I was meant to be. And I've seen sunsets on the ocean, seen the desert bloom, drove the endless highways beneath the prairie moon. Yet the picture in my mind I see when I think about it all is the color of the leaves, Carolina in the fall. For 30 years I've sang the songs Doc has told to me, and the things that he would sing about I never dreamed I'd see. In the hills of Carolina, folks have opened up the door, and for the first time in my life I'm not a stranger anymore. And I've seen sunsets on the ocean, seen the desert bloom, drove the endless highways beneath the prairie moon. Yet the picture in my mind I see when I think about it all is the color of the leaves, Carolina in the fall. Picture in my mind I see when I think about it all is the color of the leaves, Carolina in the fall. Hope you're feeling somewhat better, Morris, and good luck with your surgery next week. Kathleen, I think, is it next week?
Start of next week,
Start of
yeah, early next
Morris
week.
and Ginny and all your family will be, you'll be in our thoughts and prayers over here at this side of the Atlantic, and wish you the very, very best. And the next one we'll send out to another American that had a bit of a scare, and that's our friend Rick Kelleher from the hills of old Vermont. And Rick is a troubadour, folk singer, and an author of a great book called Banjo Man. And he also was very close to Pete Seeger, and one of the folks on the Clearwater boat that was so famous in the cleaning up of the Hudson and the sloop Clearwater. And we wish you the very, very best as well, Rick, and hope everything works out for you and you recover very quickly and back to doing your performances. And here goes, you'll recognize this when Rick sing it from your wherever you are at the moment, and the rest of you as well, folks. This is our second last song of the night, and often it's the last one. Kathleen requested and the one after that, and it's another great song, and I'll be bringing it to you after we finish this one, so don't tune out too quickly. When we look and we see things are not what they should be, God's counting on me, God's counting on you. Now when we look and we see things are not what they should be, God's counting on me, God's counting on you. Hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, me and you. When there's big problems to be solved, let's get everyone involved. God's counting on me, God's counting on you. Now when there's problems to be solved, let's get everyone involved. God's counting on me, God's counting on you. Hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, me and you. Now don't give up, don't give in, working together we all can win. God's counting on me, God's counting on you. Now don't give up, don't give in, working together we all can win. God's counting on me, God's counting on you. hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, me and you. It's time to turn things around, trickle up, not trickle down. God's counting on me, God's counting on you. It's time to turn things around, trickle up, not trickle down. God's counting on me, God's counting on you. Hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, me and you. What we do now, you and me, will affect eternity. God's counting on me, God's counting on you. What we do now, you and me, will affect eternity. God's counting on me, God's counting on you. Hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, me and you. Now when we sing with younger folks, we can never give up hope. God's counting on me, God's counting on you. Now when we sing with younger folks, we can never give up hope. God's counting on me, God's counting on you. Hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, me and you. Hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, me and you. Okay, folks, we won't mention the word COVID more than once, but it's spiraling a bit here in cases, and we're just a little wary or worry. We'll keep the hope and the light lit, as they say. So until next week, folks, episode 89, the day after Emma's celebration on Friday evening. So, and her birthday is on Tuesday. And another birthday boy today is Richard Gellardin from Alaska. And happy birthday, Richard, if you're looking in. He looks in occasionally, so hope you're keeping well. Hope you had a great day for your birthday. And this one was a song that was, I heard the Irish Rovers singing this one on a documentary several decades ago, I'd say, it's a stage, Kathleen. And I see they're going back on the road again, and they're based in Vancouver, Canada as well, not too far from where we visit in Vancouver Island. They live in Vancouver, maybe they live in Vancouver Island, I don't know. That's where their base is anyway. And it's called The Other Side of the Evening, and it's a great song to sing if you're going away from a concert or from the pub. We're at home, and you probably are as well. But it's the other side of the evening, and it's time for us all to go home. So until next week, folks, myself and Kathleen, Sláinte Kelleher, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your continuous support and loyalty. We really love singing to you and telling you stories and stuff. Anything else to say, Kathleen?
Nope. Nothing. See you next week, guys.
Okay, you're starting to speak now, Kathleen. That's good. We've tasted the best of our memories. We've laughed till we ached to the bone. It's the other side of the evening, and it's time for us all to go home. We cried when we talked about the old times. We drank to your health in my home. It's the other side of the evening, and it's time for us all to go home. it's the other side of the evening. Sunshine is chasing the moon. So let's make a promise to meet again, the same time and place sometime soon. We've sung all our songs about the good times, the sad times and being alone. Now it's the other side of the evening, and it's time for us all to go home. We've toasted the best of our memories. We laughed till we ached to the bone. Now it's the other side of the evening, and it's time for us all to go home. Now it's the other side of the evening. Sunrise is chasing the moon. So let's make a promise to meet again, the same time and place next week, sometime soon. We've sung all our songs about the good times, yes we have, the sad times and being alone. Now it's the other side of the evening, and it's time for us all to go home. It's the other side of the evening. It's time for us all to go home. Until next week, folks, good night to you all.